So I brought a couple of herbal books up, y'all. Pop up later. Book club. This will be in the book club section. So I wanted to bring out some herbal books for y'all to start with. You can pick and choose. You don't have to get all of them. Just get whatever you need. All right. Cell salts and herbal books. So this will be a little quick, just a show and tell of some herbal books y'all can get. Even the ones that are biblical. Even the ones that are biblical, just like the rituals, right? In the Psalms of David, you know, in the Psalms, all the rituals for love, money, power, da da da. The thing you gotta remember with herbs is when you go to a herbal store, if it's not a herbal store, but it's like a metaphysics store, some herbs are not for intergesting, they're just for burning on the charcoal. So you got to know the difference if the herb has been farmed for intake or external only. So this is going to be very short. All right, let me get my phone back out. Okay, this is some herb books. This will be on Patreon. In my Patreon, bagged up. So herb books that y'all can get for herbal, since y'all were asking about it, since we were just talking about herbs on that shared content video thing I just did, I listed EP number 2, episode number 2. So this, I went back there and Spirit like, get some books. I was like, oh my God, Spirit, all my books on my bookshelf gonna be fucked up. Y'all should see all the books I got up here now. Like I still got them ancient Egyptian books up here because I ain't ran them back. I still got the dictionary sitting up here. I got to get all this stuff put away so I can clean up. But anywho, I brought up some herbal books for y'all because Spirit was like, bring them some herbal books. They are, some of them are some of the ones I started out with, of course. And so y'all got to take them with a grain of salt, get them wherever you can find them, half-price books or Amazon or Etsy or wherever, Barnes and Nobles, wherever you can find them at. Used or new. But remember, some herbs you gotta burn. If it's a metaphysics shop, some only do with the burning of the coals or making sachets. I cannot say that word. Sachets of them. Okay. I cannot say that fucking word. Sachets. Oh Lord. Okay, let me see. All right. Some herbs. Okay, this will be. Some herbs you make sachets out of, like this, and put in your purse. You get this thing, or put under your pillow. You don't interject. You don't eat them. You don't boil them because they're not farmed for intake. They're only farmed to burn on the little charcoals. So you got to know the difference. If you go into a herbal store or metaphysics store, herbal stores will tell you can boil them, but metaphysics stores, you got to ask. Because some of them are where they get their supplier from is not the kind that's farmed for you to boil and make a tea. They're only for this right here. So just remember that. Some of these you cannot intake because of all the pesticides and stuff on them. Oops. All that kind of stuff. So that was just to clarify that. But again, because they got magical purposes and they got healing purposes. And that's why. Because some, like I said, with that sachet, you can bring in abundance. You can bring in whatever you want to bring in. It can be big or small. You can dump this in your purse. You can put it on your pillow. You can put it on your bed. You can put it wherever you want to put it. Hang it by the door so that abundance come in the house. Like blowing cinnamon in the front door on the first or the new moon, things like that, or washing your hand with cinnamon, things like that. So you just got to use it however you want to use it. This one for book club, I've shown this one before. This is one of the first books I did many over 10 years ago. So this is one that has a lot in it for herbs. Like there's basil right there, and we just had basil when I was saying pretend it was oregano. And there's basil when you're taking it. It has bladder problems, colds, colon, constipation, croup, earache, dysentery, headaches, digestion, kidney problems, liver, menstruation, suppressed parasites. Snake bites. We found a snake this morning. Whooping cough, spleen, worms, respiratory infections, and rheumatism. So it tells you about it and tells you that's right in y'all cabinet because I just had basil. So it tells you what it helps with and it gives you a history of what you can use it for. All right. So that's a good one because even bee pollen in here, lemongrass, there's lemongrass right there. So, and then slippery, lady slippery kelp, Norwegian. All right, I got some kelp up there, but I don't know if it's Norwegian. I think I got it from the Japanese, the H mark. But I got some kelp that I made that miso soup with. There's ginkgo biloba. So it tells you different things. So this is a good starter book for y'all to do your research. But my disclaimer is always check with your physician first before you take these and make sure it's okay, because you want to be under care, because you don't want, you can overdose, you can harm your organs off of natural herbs too, just like you can do with man-made medicine. So you don't want to, and then some of these you don't take no more than 3 months, 2 months, or 3 months at a time. You know, so you got to know the ins and outs, which is why you go to a certified herbalist. That's why I said over 10 or 15 years, because new herbalists are still learning and everybody's body is different. But we're all metaphysicians in our own right. But when you got pharmacology that you're using, man-made medicine derived from natural medicine, they just put the synthetic stuff on it to make it work quicker. And I always say, you know, man-made medicine, being a nurse for almost 30 years, man-made medicine just cover up the symptom, but doesn't fix the system. Natural herbs get to the system. But that's why it takes longer, because it got to get through everything. You don't get that 30, 20-minute fix. You got to wait till it build up because it's natural. So again, there's one right there, the little herb encyclopedia. This is Dr. Savy, a guy that lists, these are all alkaline. We got about 33 of all alkaline herbs in here. This is the guy that studied under Dr. Savy. So this is all the natural herbs. A lot of the other herbs are acidic, but they still work. But this is natural. This is alkaline. Alkalines. These will be acidic and alkaline. But this guy that studied under Dr. Savy, which that black seed is in here too, this is the one that tell you all the 33 alkaline herbs that he studied, that he know is alkaline because he tested them. So this is, if you want to alkaline the inside of the body, you would take these because these are not acidic herbs. These are alkaline. So he dedicated this book to Dr. Savy. I think, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, dedication to Dr. Savy. Right there, because he studied all the electric stuff. So he dedicated this to Dr. Savy and put this together for us. All right. Cell salts are like all those minerals we was talking about in the other video. She was naming zinc, and she didn't name magnesium and phosphate and iron, but that's all the ones that go with each sign down here at the bottom. And that's the cell salt book. And I had one of my spiritual brothers shared this book with me. And then the salvation of cell salts, which is the same thing, has the biblical reference in it. So everybody that's studying zodiac, this is really what you're studying. But you put signs in its place. You put Aquarius, you put, Taurus, Aries, you put all the signs, but this is really what you're studying. You're studying the cell salts. And that's salvation, because we're all missing 3 at birth, because we come out at 9 months and not 12. So 3 of them we're missing. Again, taxation, right? 33 1/3. So you got to put back the missing cell salts that you were missing because you came out at 9 months and not 12 months. You get what I'm saying? That's why it's good for y'all to know stuff. But this is one and the same. So this is cell salts. This is cell salts according to the Bible and the zodiac. So those two need to go together if you're going to get them. Okay, and then you can buy cell salts at any herbal store da 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 da. So why y'all thinking what we're doing is wrong? It's not wrong. You just misinformed. You don't have all the information, so you think it's wrong. But y'all won't listen to people half the time that's trying to teach y'all something. You just go in and attack. And see, that's why I don't debate shit I say, because I know I got the books and the knowledge to back it up. So I don't fucking debate nobody. I just look at you like you're stupid and know you didn't do no damn research. So this is some, and I'm talking to them karmics that love to come in and talk shit. All right. And then this is biblical too. This is the rituals, right? This is the rituals, Psalms. This is in the Bible. So if they wanted y'all to know something, they would gave y'all learned this stuff because of spiritual people that y'all haven't even got this far yet. But y'all always throwing stones. You see what I'm saying? People be throwing stones because they got lack of knowledge. But they use biblical in both of these, so people can't talk. And I told y'all yesterday on the witch hunt, everything is spiritual. Everything is a ritual, right? Everybody is using magic. And there it is right there already, too biblical. Now let me hit you again. Essential oils in the Bible. So again, you got 3 books that resort to the Bible that use biblical. So you can't say it's not in there. It's just they don't pay no attention to it. These are all the essential oils and herbs that are in the Bible. These are the rituals that's in Psalms. And these are all the minerals and in the Bible verses in them, which relate to the zodiac, the color wheel, or what? The cell salts, every organ in the body. See, placing back the ones we're missing. All right, that when we came out in 9 months, 8 months, a preemie or whatever we were missing, right? That's serpent tail in the mouth, right? That's 360. So again, that's just to show people they don't know what they be talking about. So these are all the essential oils in the Bible with the Bible references. So the healing hand of God, they can't even dispute this right now. They probably feel like a little dumb because all that bullshit they've been talking. You know what I'm saying? And because people won't read other books outside the Bible, they have a lack of knowledge. And it says the lack of knowledge destroys the people, right? My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge because y'all won't read, you know. And there's cypress right there, right? Myrrh is in here, camphor, calamus, bay leaves. Bay leaves. You got aloe. What else you got? So that's why I said stop doing it. You got migraines, what you can take for migraines, and what is that? Muscle ache and pain. So y'all been talking all that smack, you know, conjunctivitis and cough. You know, it got a little herb section back here. Cinnamon. And we all know cinnamon because we love cinnamon sticks and cinnamon powder. We do wash our hands on the first of the month and on the new moon. You blow it in the door or whatever. See, make a little cinnamon pouch out of it. You see what I'm saying? So again, these are all your things in the cabinet that you're using anyway. But people be talking. There's anise. That's a money prosperous herb right there in itself. So there's anise too. Okay, there's aloe, right? So you can see, and it got the biblical thing in there, and then it has essential oils to avoid. So it's teaching y'all something too. It's teaching y'all something. So that's why I said I'm gonna just show y'all, because Spirit must have wanted some of y'all to see some of this stuff. That's the only, because I was not finna bring it back out. I'm so sick of bringing my books out, especially ones I've already brought, because they're in my book. They're in my book club. Y'all just gotta go and look at it. Look in the book club. I'm not gonna read all these to y'all. Muscle ache and migraine. There it is, right there. Muscle ache and migraine, right there. You can snapshot it. Muscle, and I'm pre-recording it, so I got to do it over here for my Patreon. Y'all can snapshot it, and that's all I'm showing. Y'all just have to go buy the book. But that's one for the Bible. So I just want to give y'all the recipe. Here's another one, master recipes. You're welcome. And here's another one for master recipes and stuff. You're welcome, Christina. And so there's another one. You like cinnamon? Yeah. Oh, I love cinnamon and oatmeal with some butter, or on a sweet potato with some butter. Girl. Oh my God. Cinnamon on sweet potatoes like yams without doing all that work. I don't put the sugar on there. I just put the cinnamon and the butter and bake me some sweet potatoes. Whoa, my gosh. And see, there's one that has a lot of stuff in it too. There's one for depression tea. All right, so there's a depression tea right there. I'm not saying don't not go to the doctor. It's just saying you can keep it at bay, or you can help heal your own self. But again, consult a doctor, please. Head lice. You even got head lice up in here. So again, so it's a lot of stuff in these books. But if y'all don't, a wet cough temperature, a cough, viral treatments, you know, you see what I'm saying? It's a lot in these books that help y'all. Constipation, concussion, boils, brain fatigue, bleeding gums, bites and stings, bad breath, athlete's foot, asthma, appetite decrease, anemia, acne, rosacea, allergies, and acne again. So, and then it has the pictures and just get a little description of different herbs for y'all, so you can learn as you go along in the book. And this says for anxiety, that's an adaptogen. That's like ashwagandha. So that helps the empaths. When the empaths mix this with ashwagandha and some other herbs, it might be ginkgo or somebody, ginkgo or gotu kola or something, it helps with anxiety and stress, like B12s. So again, that one helps emotional support, the adrenals, the cortisol levels. So that's one that helps the cortisol levels right there. So, and then there's red raspberry for feminine hormones, red raspberry. So these are some good ones, y'all. There's elderberry and euthanasia, and we just talked about that. That's euthanasia, that's elderberry, that's how to identify it. So that's what it looks like. You know what I'm saying? So this, like I said, you need to identify the herbs, learn the herbs, so when you see them in the wild, you know what you're getting. And then there's some salves and recipes. You can learn how to make tinctures, salves, ointments, pain ointments, things like that. And then that's how the preparation, the dosage is broken down. Sprays, salves, teas, oils, flower essence blends, capsules, syrup, tincture, wash, suppository. So you can learn how to make different things out of different herbs. That's what I said, Mother Gaia is it, y'all. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. Y'all can do what the fuck y'all want. Ain't nobody whooping Mother Gaia. Okay, the mother. Ain't nobody beating her. Ain't nobody beating her ass. I don't care what people say. Can't nobody beat Mother Nature. Mother Nature got everything. She tells us everything, shows us everything, and directs our path. And if we just listen and take the natural path, we all could get over all the bullshit they putting out there in the ozone and in our foods and in preservatives, all the natural shit and preservatives and perfumes and shit like that. We could detox ourselves and heal ourselves. And it's a constant thing because we're always got something with a natural flavor or preservative in there, you know. So, and then this is one, natural healing with herbs. That's one. I don't think I've showed y'all this one before. It just caught my eye. So this is one, this is a new one that I haven't showed y'all. It's not new to me, but it's new to y'all because I haven't showed y'all this one. So that's one. There it is right there. So again, you can find these at half price, Barnes and Nobles, and start working with one. They all got all the herbs in it. He go in detail. He breaks down the actual dose too. Like steep for 5 to 15 minutes, right? The longer you steep, the stronger it gets. Just remember that. Any tea you steep longer than 10, 15 minutes, 5, 15 minutes, it's going to get stronger. And these same teas like this that you can drink, you can pour into a spiritual bath. Just drain it. Just strain it and just pour the water. Let it cool off. Let it sit on the stove, cool off, and let it pull everything out, and then pour it in a spiritual bath. So that's how you do spiritual baths too. So, and then you're getting it to go in the skin, so it's going to go in the body naturally, because the skin is the largest organ on the body. So everything we put in our skin goes in the body, but ends up in our hair too. Like the drinking and foods end up in our hair. You know, so again, there's one right there for y'all. And this will be in my, like I said, it'll be on my Patreon, but it'll also be in my Patreon, but in my book club playlist of all the other books. All right. This Dr. Lalala Africa. This is, he gives you the breakdown of minerals, iron, vitamins. Look, I went right to muscles and menstrual cramps. Open that up right on to that one. So he gives a breakdown every section too. If you want, what is this? Chlamydia, oh Lord, and then chronic fatigue syndrome. So somebody must got chlamydia out there, or don't know they got chlamydia. If y'all been having, you know, relations with people unprotected. So it tells you what you need: vitamin C, vitamin E, MS. It tells you all this, zinc, garlic. He's giving you, because he's a doctor, but he's one of our scholars, Dr. Baba Lalela Africa. I met him in person. So actually, I brought my books to his book signing lecture, and he signed all my books. I don't know if he signed this one or not. Let me see. This one I think I left at the house, because I brought some of them, but some of them I left. Yeah, I forgot this one because it was hiding from me. There's kidney stones. So this is one with the doctors, like the doctors you would go to. He broke down the vitamin C, sickle cell anemia, skin eruption. So there's different little break a bone, fractures, bone spur, bad breath. Okay. So that's a good one too. African holistic health. All right. Our bodies are made a little different from everybody else, how we break down stuff. That's why that's an African. That's from the Black Bookstore. But you can find it. And this is his other book. This is his wife. He's no longer with us. So this is how you tell what's wrong with your body according to what's wrong with your face. The holistic self-diagnosis, because we're healers. So once you know what's wrong with you, you can start getting the organ or taking the herbs. And I'm not telling y'all to do that. This is just information, educational purposes only. Disclaimer, LOL, fair use. You can use this in conjunction with your doctor though, with your licensed professional doctor. So this is his wife, and when you look at it, it tells what's wrong when you got outbreaks around certain parts of your face. That's the organ that's fucked up. It's the same as in your feet with reflexology too, and with your hands and with your ears, because everything is interconnected. So you got to learn your body through your face, through your feet, through your hands. You know, you have that book too, so that's good. You got a good start. This one he did sign, because there it is right there. I met him in 2015. So he signed this one, but I forgot this one. He didn't get to sign that one. So again, and then this is my Reiki master teacher that I got 1, 2, and 3 from, Kua Gray, and this is her herbal book that she has a herbal class, and this is the book she uses for that herbal class. But this is my Reiki master teacher though, in 1, 2, and 3, where I got my certification from, Dr. Kua Gray. So again, that has the things, the ones that you can't use with the pharmacies, because some of these you can't use with man-made medicine. And so y'all need to know that. And I think she was the only one that put it in any book that I saw. It's in this book. I'm not going to show y'all because I want y'all to buy the book. So buy the book. But there's a page in this book that lists all the medicines you don't take with man-made medicines. Okay, she got chakras in here because she's a Reiki master, right? So she has the chakras in here, but there's a page in here too, like I said. And then there's other herbs. She breaks them down too. Everybody breaks them down different. Everybody breaks them down different. She don't have as much in there as the other books, but she do got them in there. So, and if you want to take her herbal class, you can go look at it on her website. You know, yeah, I'm a Reiki master. Yeah, this is my teacher. I just said it. This was my certifier, Dr. Akua. So, or Akua Gray. So, she's an educator too. I think she used to be a teacher or some type of educator. So, again, yeah, I'm a Reiki master. I can attune people. I just don't. I usually do long distance Reiki, but I don't attune people. But I can if I want to. So yeah, I can certify you in 1, 2, and 3. And you have to be a Reiki Master 3 before you can attune anybody for 1 and 2. And then once y'all get 3, y'all can go and teach and attune people under your services. Okay, so yeah, but you got to be 3. You got to have Master 3 before you do any of the tuning other people, because you don't learn stuff, the last stuff, until the Master symbol to the last one. But I do long distance Reiki. So yeah. So that's her book right there. And that's all I got for y'all. You know, that's what you're looking for. She floats around, but I don't know if she's been floating around lately. She comes to different African black communities, bookstores and stuff, because that's where I got it done at. You know, so you can find, but you got to wait till she scheduled a 1, 2, and 3, and it may not all be in the same year. If she's going to be floating around, you want to wait till she come back around your town, or you got to go where she's going to be at. So there may be some travel in there. So just know, if you want to get them all quickly, you're going to have to probably go to where she's at. You won't be able to just get them all boom, 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 because she go around to black bookstores and communities and do it. You know, she was in Pan Africa in Dallas. So I don't know where she go in Houston. Checking in from Hartford, Connecticut. All right. So yeah, that's how you get that certificate. But yeah, I can give that certificate. You know, this had a wonderful book selection. Yeah, this is just basic stuff. You'll probably see some other stuff that people got. Like I said, this ain't all of them. I just wasn't gonna bring all of them up here, because then I gotta go take them back. Like, I already got books still sitting over there because I ain't took them back yet. That's why I don't like to bring my books off my shelf. So that's a good start, though. This is definitely a good start for y'all starting out. This one right here, the little encyclopedia one, the first one that I showed you. And those Zelle salts are good too. The Zelle salts are a good one to start off, and this one is a good one to start off, because it give you where it's from, what year, and all that stuff. Look, wild yam, and we know that's for women hormones. That's wild yam right there. Dr. Barber talks about that all. I got the hiccups. Dr. Barber talks about wild yam for menopause and hot flashes and female hormone regulation. And there's that one right there. It gives you a brief history, like where it came from. It says wild yam roots were employed for bilious, colic, and abdominal cramps by physicians in the Army of Confederate States during the Civil War. So it gives you I like this one because it gives you a brief history. It don't just tell you about it and go on. It gives you a brief history. And it gives you the different types, and it gives you body part it influences, like if it's a diuretic, if it's a macrobial, if it's a fungal, if it's a algae, an analgesic, if it's a nerve or spasmodic one, it gives you that little blurbage right there, and the different ways you can recognize it, because it's different kinds of wild yam. So I like this book for a starter. This was a good book for a starter. No doubt, a good book. Mullein, and I think I just had mullein when we was up on there earlier. That's the lung one. That's for your respiratory system. So it breaks that down too. Like, I use this book a lot. That's why it's all marked up. But now that once you know the herbs, you kind of know it. And see, it has bronchitis, right? Bronchitis in capital versus lowercase. You see, because that's mostly what it's used for, bronchitis. That's why I said lungs. And then there's pulmonary disease. There's emphysema, okay? There's respiratory, capitalized. There's lung problems, lungs bleeding, lymphatic congestion, mucous membranes. See what I'm saying? Plural, see? That's why this is a good one, because this shit be breaking shit down. But there it is, y'all. That's a quick one. I wanted to just get that out the way while y'all were asking about herbal books. So, book club, it'll be in a playlist if you want to go back, or it'll be on my Patreon account. Well, it'll be on my Patreon account too, but it'll be in a playlist along with it. And I might stick it in the membership too, just FYI. You gotta bag stuff up on these damn things, because they be trying to not let us put helpful information out to people, so y'all can take back control of y'all health, and or work with your doctor a little bit more closely, or get you a health doctor, one that wants to be a natural health doctor. You know what I'm saying? Like Dr. Barber. Somebody like Dr. Barber, or even Chinese medicine. So it's in my playlist. You go to my Kem Arts, in my playlist, you'll see Kem Arts or book club. You'll see the title. I think it's over there somewhere. And I usually read books, but when I do this, I put the books in here like this too, because I'm not going through all my damn books. I'll just give y'all names of books sometimes too, on different subjects. So you will see me read books, and then you'll see me list some books. Because, of course, I'm not finna read to y'all. We ain't elementary. Dear Watson, we is not elementary. This is just to give y'all some reference material, and y'all do the homework and study yourself to show yourself approved. Workmen needed not be ashamed, rightly dividing the word. Okay? I'm just saying. Of truth. That's what I'm talking about. People got Bible scriptures all damn day. They got Bible scriptures galore all damn day. But you ask them something health-wise, and they ain't doing nothing health-wise, that help them put their bodies in a better alignment, a health state, consciousness state, to awaken their consciousness. Because health, your true wealth is your health. And that's the true wealth. It's not money, material, but your body is the material. Like I said yesterday on the board, it is the physical, it is the matter, it is the flesh, it is the temple, it is the body, right? It is the church, it is the altar. So that's Mother Gaia. So why would you be against her when she's giving you the natural herbs to put in your body to stay healthy? That doesn't make any sense. But that's people's limitation too. And the physical is the limitation. They got to unlock those vice grips, chains that they got on their damn mindset, and open up. Because that's only going to help you stay healthy longer. Not be somebody's guinea pig or a lab rat for these folks. To experiment. You know what I'm saying? But you do got to know when to stop taking certain meds because they're just as dangerous. And some of these natural herbs can hurt you. So y'all really need to find y'all a natural herbalist, a master herbalist that's certified. Because that way you're not taking shit that you don't know that's going to mess around and fuck your ass up later. Because that shit will fuck you up. It can kill you. Natural herbs can kill you if you don't know how to take them. That's why I'm showing y'all the books. So y'all can know that's just as dangerous, y'all. Some of them you can't take all year round. You can't take them all year round. So you got to know that if you're gonna take them on your own or not get a certified herbalist or go take a certified herbalist class so you can learn how to take them. But I read a lot of books and I read up on them so I'll know. I don't just take them willy-nilly. You know, so just keep that in mind. That's my disclaimer. Educational purposes only, fair use, entertainment purposes only. Hope that helps some of y'all just start looking up some stuff for yourself and get educated, you know, get re-educated on the natural way, the natural path. You know, that's why y'all need to follow Yaqui too. Dr. Yaqui, we saw him this morning. Let me see. So y'all know who I'm talking about. That's his Facebook page right there. I'm trying to find a video. Right here.
Love, light, healing, peace, love, light, healing, peace to the gods, peace to the earth. Y'all climb on in. Blessings, blessings. It's been a minute.
He got his doctor now. Got his own clinic and everything.
Climb on in. Blessings to y'all. Blessings to the gods and goddesses, the earths. How my family doing? Shalom, shalom, lakam, mishpati. We at the clinic, been getting it in. I wanted to show y'all some things we do when we bring people into the clinic. If we do client intake, I think this would be a good thing that you guys can learn for yourselves and do on yourselves to let y'all know where y'all at in y'all level of health, wellness, self-diagnosing type of tips and methodologies. It's a bunch of things that I'm going to take you through where you will be able to do these things at home, and then you can tell what's going on with your health before you go to your primary, before you go to the emergency room, before you go to the doctor. If you follow these things that I'm going to show you right now, you will already have a sense of what's going on within your own molecular structure, within your own body, before you can go talk to anybody. It's good to know what you got going on before you consult with anybody about your body, because it's you, your consciousness that's experiencing this body.
See?
You should know about your body and what's going on with your body more than anybody else, because what? It's your body.
You live there. So, exactly.
We got T up in the building. This is my MA. Say what up, T. We got Shamar. Shamar is going so Shamar is going to be our, I don't want to say test dummy because she's far from dumb. She's one of the most intelligent young ladies I know, but we're going to show y'all how to do an intake. And these things you can do on yourself every day to see if you're good or not. So you can hold this, Navi. All right. So the first thing you do is when you bring people into the clinic, after we take them and we put them through the weigh station, we get their weight, we get their BMI and all of that. We take them in here and we sit them down. The first thing we do is we check their temperature. Now, we're not checking their temperature to see if they got a fever. I mean, of course, that's one of the plus, but we really checking their temperature because we're checking the actual state and functioning of their thyroid. If you look at one of the things that the thyroid and the parathyroid does, it actually controls the metabolic rate of the body and it controls the temperature. It's something called a follicular cell that sits in follicular fluid. The basement of the basal of that cell actually check and regulate the temperature of the body. So if you look at the regular temperature in the state of Missouri, it's different every state you go, especially in different countries. Your temperature is supposed to be regulated at a 98.6. So if it's 2 decimals down, that means that the thyroid is acting in a hypoactive state. And if it's 2 points up, that means it's acting in what? A hyperactive state. So we're going to check her temperature. So that's the first thing we do. We're going to check it out. And then you can bring it up on the temperature. The temperature gauge. Let's see what we get. Oh no, you gotta change it, yep.
So we at 97.8, that
So-
is hypo.
So we at 97.8. So that means her thyroid needs to be, we need to put some stimulus on her thyroid because it's acting a little too slow. It's supposed to be at a 98.6. So what T will do, T will write that down on things saying, okay, hold on, we said the thyroid. We're not diagnosing her with hypothyroidism. We just saying that the thyroid is not working efficiently enough to keep the body temperature regulated properly. So we already know that she got a slow thyroid right now. And sometimes this can change due to you being too relaxed, due to you being in a cold environment, due to you eating certain foods, iodine deficiency, selenium deficiency, eating too many cruciferous vegetables can make it hypoactive like that. So it's a numerous of things that can contribute to it being low. But we're not diagnosing nothing right now. We just know that her thyroid is not acting right now. It's acting in a hypo stage, all right? So that's the first thing. So the second, now we're gonna move over to the ears. You can get you something off of Amazon right now, just a little ear scope and an eye scope with a light on it to look at the ears and eyes. All right, now we got the actual unit, the medical grade unit, but you can buy your own stuff and put a battery in it and use it. So what she's gonna do is she's gonna look at the ears. What we're looking for when we look in the ears, we're looking for inflammation in the head. That's gonna let us know if she's congested or not, and we're gonna look for earwax. If we find earwax, we're gonna look for the color of the earwax. Because if you look at wax is nothing but a different type of mucus. And according to the mucus going into 4 stages. You got regular stage, you have the acute stage, you have the chronic stage, and then you have the degenerative stage. So it's gonna start off in a clear liquid color. That's when you're healthy. Then it's gonna start changing to this green, yellowish substance. That's when you got inflammation set in the body. Then from there, go chronic. Chronic turns into brown. Chronic means you have some type of disease that's onsetting in the body. Then the last stage is degenerative. That's putrefaction. It's a black color. So based off of her looking in her ears, she's gonna look for inflammation. She's gonna look for mucus or what we call wax buildup, and then she's gonna look and gauge the color of that wax, and that's gonna tell her the state of her body that she's in right now. So we're gonna check her out. And again, 2 people can do this. You can get somebody and they can do this for you. Easy stuff.
Boy, that knowledge is power, ain't it? See how y'all need to read? Doctors don't even explain this to you. They rush you in there and out in 5 fucking minutes, sometimes 2.
Alright. See that? So she good. So we see that her temperature just a little low. Don't mean nothing wrong with her.
But see,
right now something going on.
now when y'all do go to the doctor, you can say, what color was my earwax? They don't explain because, you know, that's when they can tell you what they want to fucking tell y'all, and y'all will believe it, and then you'll get it. That's why you need to read and be educated, because like he said, that's your body. And some doctors don't want to hear you explain nothing or tell them what you've been really feeling because they want to rush in there and run out, but they want to get that $3,000 for off your insurance or whatever. You see what I'm saying? I'm running a series of tests on y'all that y'all don't even need. Misdiagnosis, and that's not even right. So, you know, you gotta be proactive when you go to the doctor. You gotta ask fucking questions. But more than that, you gotta be able to know certain stuff automatically, because knowledge is power. And a doctor don't know how you feel because that's your body. You live there. You live in that home. So again, y'all gotta be proactive if you're going to doctors. Learn to ask them, make their ass slow down. They getting all that damn money. You know, make them slow down and ask them questions that y'all need to know so you'll know. Okay, there you go. There you go. That's from a nursing standpoint of view.
She's not regulating body temperature right. We just looked inside her ears. T didn't find no ear inflammation. Then she looked, she got a little wax. Her wax is a brownish, clearish color. That means she just need to clean her ear out good enough. And usually we tell people to either get a water pick or get an eardrum water pick to cleanse that ear. Don't get them Q-tips and them cotton picks, because you ain't doing that with pushing that solidified mucus back into the eardrum, which is gonna mess up your ear, your hearing, and turn into an ear infection later on down the line. So next thing we're gonna check is her eyes. When they checking these things, they looking for what I'm looking for. The reason why they checking your eyes, they checking for dilation of your pupils. They looking at something called a cholesterol ring, a lymphatic ring. They say if you pop any arteries or what you'll call blood vessels in your eyes to show that you have.
It's in Missouri.
Hydrostatic pressure.
It's in St. Louis somewhere, I believe.
A lot from the eyes. just by looking in the eyes for 60 seconds, let alone doing the iridology reading. So now let's look at her eyes. Let's see what we Yep, so we see a lymphatic ring, a little lymph congestion, and we see a liver ring. See that liver ring down there? Now let's get the other eye.
And I got an eye chart in the back myself. I got an eye chart. Uh-oh. What the hell happened? Oh, wow. They didn't want y'all to hear that. It went blank.
My number one doctor.
Oh, wow. They cut him off. Oh, my God.
Over the age of 7, something is going on with your liver. You got environmental toxins. You have contaminated
Oh,
water.
my God.
You have GMO foods. You have foods that have been sprayed with herbicides, insecticides, pesticides.
That's retrograde, boo.
In the sky. And you got this new sun simulator going on. The stuff is in the walls, it's in the carpet. It's a very, very polluted world, especially when it comes to the USA. So everybody inside the USA, if you're not detoxing 12 days out of every season, something's going on with your liver. You're going to have some type of...
Did I not tell y'all the detox every season? And I've been knowing that since I've been taking herbs. And he just verified it. I do 10 days, up to 10 days. He's saying go 12 or 14, I believe, which is still fine because that's like half the month. That's just 2 weeks. So that's not bad. Them extra few days ain't going to hurt you. But every season, which is 4 times a month, 4 seasons, right? Spring, summer, fall, winter. Do a 14-day cleanse. Else, like he said, with all this polluting and shit, something going to be wrong with your ass. Either way it go. Either way it go.
liver complication. All right, so what we doing next, see? Mouth. Yep, next you always do mouth. So you stick the mouth out. Now the reason why we check the tongue, because we check the tongue for candida, albicans, we check the tongue for fungus and yeast buildup. We check the tongue to see if we see little black spots around the edge of the tongue to show that you have a blood disorder.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
We check the back of the tongue to see if you have those big bumps. You're supposed to have bumps, but not those big bumps. That shows signs of what you will call HPV. You see that? And we check the back of the tongue to see if it's too swollen. So her tongues look perfect right now. Look completely perfect. Like I said, she pretty healthy. Look at her smile.
She like, hell yeah, I'm glad you didn't say no HPV.
It's your test. So I teach all of my students and all of my interns that when you're doing blood pressure and you're checking the blood pressure, to lay them flat down and you always check both sides. The reason why you check both sides is because we're bilateral people.
Yep.
We don't only have a right kidney and a right adrenal.
Yep.
We also have a left kidney and a left adrenal as well. We have a left chamber of the heart and a right chamber of the heart.
Yep.
You have a left hemisphere of the brain and a right hemisphere of the brain. You have a right leg, a left leg, a right arm, a right leg.
And then when you check both sides on the blood pressure, they'll be off, but they shouldn't be off a lot. Like this shouldn't be 10 mmHg from this one. It's a small off. It shouldn't be a gap that's wide off. And then lying, sitting, standing, you're always going to get a different blood pressure because depending on the person, it's going to fluctuate. But when you're doing both lying down, it should be a close range. It shouldn't be way off. And the left accurate is here because it's by the heart. So that's the most accurate. The further away is less because it's away from the heart. So that's why a lot of doctors don't like the wrist, the digital or the battery one, because it's away from the heart. It's not as accurate. And they don't like batteries over manual anyway because it's less accurate. The manuals are the most accurate, but the most accurate being by the heart. So that's just...
Right eye, left eye, a right nasal passage,
See?
a right nasal passage.
So you're checking both sides of the body.
People put together as one, masculine and feminine, merge together in unity, which makes a human entity. So when you check blood pressure, always check on both sides, and it's going to show and prove that there's different type of mechanisms going on each side because one side is stronger than the other. So we're going to check her blood pressure on both sides, and we're going to see that both sides is different. Now, what I've been teaching her is do it the regular way first.
Yeah.
Always do it the regular way first.
Same for infrared thermometers.
You ain't even got to call it out. Just do it regular. Because I want you to always be familiar with doing it manually too.
See, he said it. Look,
Always do it manually.
he said always do it manually. I want you to be, you know, familiar with doing it manually because manual is the best accurate. These battery things, they don't sometimes give you a good read due to you got to position it, the battery runs low or battery going down. And like I said, he just told her what I just told you. The manual is the most accurate.
And if y'all got any questions after we get done with this, I'll bring y'all through it. Look, everything I'm showing y'all can do it by yourselves at home. Y'all don't even have to come to the clinic to get this done. Now, it's a bunch of other stuff in the clinic that you definitely going to have to come see me for. But for stuff like this, you can do this on your own and send me in your report saying, look, Dr. Yaki, this is what I found when I did my self-assessment. And this is all this is. Learning these things on your own is not always about going to see somebody for healing. You are the true healer.
I told
We
you.
just help facilitate. That's all we doing.
Thank you. Confirmation. That's confirmation. You making doctor's appointments and doctor trips for nothing. And they getting bukus of money. And they're not fucking solving the problem. Oh, you gotta come back. Oh, that didn't work. Come in again. Nah, fuck that shit.
So make sure y'all get on that. And if
Your
y'all
house
don't know,
is your...
check the systolic and diastolic. Systolic is always the adrenals. Diastolic is always the kidneys. Alright, so systolic supposed to, this is what textbooks say. It says it's supposed to be 120, diastolic is supposed to be 80. Me doing this for going on 16 years, me having hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, for real, thousands of clients coming in. What I've noticed at a resting point for so-called black people, and the reason why I'm saying so-called because black is the color of a Crayola, but for indigenous people, we usually see 125 over 70 is the perfect margin for us. You know what I'm saying? That's what I've been seeing. So we're checking her blood pressure right now, seeing what that is, and that's going to let us know the state of her kidneys and her adrenals. Remember, adrenals are the small little pyramid-like structure that sits on top of the kidneys. The adrenals act as the pumping mechanism to the kidneys. The kidneys act as the filtration system for all the metabolic waste that is built up inside of the cells and the interstitial fluid of the body, or the intercellular fluid of the body. So based off of her blood pressure, I can tell you whether she is cleansing and detoxing and getting metabolic waste out of her body right now. And you can always check your urine. Every time you wake up in the morning, or in the rising, should I say, because we ain't mourning over anything, you mourn at a funeral. But if you wake up in the rising and you check your urine before you drink or eat anything, let that urine sit in a glass bowl or a glass bottle for about 10 to 16 hours. If you don't see this white settlement sinking to the bottom of that bowl, then that means that you're not filtrating out metabolic waste, and you need to do a kidney and an adrenal detox, ASAP. Yeah. That's a part of the course.
So for the manual.
Knowledge is power. That's all I can say. He teaching really good. He's breaking this down really good, y'all. Because he's explaining it. Doctors don't explain because y'all don't ask questions. And even if we ask questions, they don't really explain because they don't want you to know.
Digitally, because it happens like this, ASAP. And it gives a very, very accurate reading.
Some doctors explain, but some of them don't.
Amazon, you can get it from mediaequipment.com, and so many places you can get this type of stuff from, and you can do your own home assessment, y'all. It's time to start healing ourselves, looking in the mirror, doing this work ourselves. I shouldn't have to talk to nobody about my body. Now, if I need an expert, of course, come to me, because I'm an expert at what I do. But for basic knowledge, this stuff is basic. What happens if you get strained? What happens if all telecommunications end right now? You can't even communicate with somebody on the other side. There's going to be a day when you can't call 911. There's coming a day when you can't call 911, but there's going to be emergencies happening in your household. What you going to do? What you going to do if you don't know simple stuff like this? How many of y'all don't even know CPR?
You're welcome.
How many of y'all don't know CPR? Everybody want to go on these dates and family dates? Take you and your whole entire family for swimming lessons. What happens if one day you need to swim? Take you and your family to CPR class. What happens if your son is choking and you don't even know how to get the food out of the baby's mouth? Like, there's a bunch of stuff that happen every day, and people die by the thousands that we don't even realize. But we know every song on the radio. Yeah. Women know how to shake. He telling it. Men know how to lay pipe on everything, moving and walking. We We in the clubs, we drinking, we smoking, we doing everything, but we don't know nothing about our entities and about our biological meat suits, y'all. I mean, that is absurd when you think about it. It really is.
All right, so I was close.
You
107.
So you get
Oh, sorry. 107, 73.
All right, so
90.
So based off of what I've taught you so far, what does this mean?
This is hypoactive.
Okay, hypoactive because she at 107.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you just
this
went.
one.
Hold on, I might go back to the other one. No, which one? This how many blood
Okay,
tests?
okay.
That's how many blood tests we've been taking. Peace, love, light of healing, peace, love, light of
Okay.
healing, peace.
So that's just, I'm glad I even picked that one. I never even seen that video till just now, but that was a really a good breakdown of knowledge is power, because you need to understand why the body works as the way it works, because then you can offshoot some of this stuff with just a call. Like he said, you don't have to go in, but when you have a lack of knowledge of your body and what's going on, it makes some people paranoid and fear, so they got to rush to the doctor because they're not doing stuff to prevent half of this damn shit, which is what the herbs do. You can take them for a preventive measure. And people be like, well, ain't nothing happening. That's the whole motherfucking point. That shit working. You ain't got to go nowhere. You ain't sick yet. It's a preventative measure you can take. Like with the detoxing every season is preventive. It's a precaution to keep the doctor away. It's different when you have surgery, you got to go to the doctor. It's different when other things that you got to be cut on, or like a CAT scan, or things that you don't have the equipment. He's talking about the basic thing we can do to keep ourselves good. That's what I be going over when I show my herbs and stuff. It's basic stuff we can do. That's just educational purposes. You know, my disclaimer, he's the doctor, I'm a nurse, but that's just my disclaimer. I'm not a physician, but he says the same thing because I've been in the health field. So I know what he's talking about. And most people that's in the health field in y'all families know CPR, but other people don't. Some people know how to swim, like he said, some people don't. You know, but if you're the healer in the family, you help the other ones, you know, with what you know. If they go to the doctor, get a diagnosis, you still can get the herbs that fit that diagnosis. You can take the prescriptions or not take the prescriptions, but you can still take the natural herbs too if they don't interact with that prescription. That's why I showed you Dr. Gray's book, because it's a list in there, and I'm not going to put it up there because y'all won't buy the fucking book. And I want y'all to go buy the fucking book. Because if you want to invest in yourself, you got to pay attention, to learn. You can't just take the easy road out all the time, y'all, because that stuff come and go. And when you read it, you kind of remember it better because you're doing the research, you're flipping pages, you're interacting, you're making notes. But if you just listen to people talk all the time, that information go out the window because that's only like a 10-minute clip. You got to do the research. You have to do the research. Get some books in your house with natural herbs. If you don't get but one damn book, it's gonna have the important ones in there. So get one herbal book for the family that you can look up certain shit. Because common colds, sniffles, you shouldn't be running to the doctor for that. Literally, you shouldn't. Because all them seasonings you use in your cabinet on your food can help you with the little sniffles if you know how to use it right. Like I just said about the oregano, I had bronchitis and that bitch cured my bronchitis. And I was like, what the hell? All this time bronchitis did, oil of oregano did this, shit. But some people are allergic to oregano, so you gotta be careful. If you're allergic to oregano, don't take it. So you gotta know your own body still at the end of the day. Don't take nothing that you're allergic to. There's other natural herbs you can take in that part, okay? Yeah, and cilantro, right? So it's a lot. Parsley is a good healing one. Sage, rosemary, all of those are good. All of those are good. Y'all, we ain't doing what we supposed to be doing because we lazy. And we want these quick fixes, but then we're hurting ourselves in the long run because lack of knowledge destroys us. And I'm glad to see that he's actually teaching with trying to educate our people because our people are so fucking lazy. Yep, I got star anise right here. There's star anise right there. And star anise is said to be lucky with 8 points or more. And I found like a whole bunch of 8 points. That's said to have good luck. So that's star anise right there. You can boil that and make a tea out of it. You know, red clove or clove you can make a tea out of. Yeah, smells like licorice. So that's star anise. So you can put it in magic stuff. You can put it in sachets. You can drop it in your wallet, attract money. Star anise is a prosperity, a prosperity herb. You can boil it, make a tea. You can make a lot of stuff. All right, out of star anise. All right, so get your books, y'all. I can't stress that enough. Because like he said, what if you can't make it to the doctor? What if you need to swim? You see what I'm saying? What if you need to? It's saying be ready so you don't have to get ready. And if you stay ready, you ain't got to try to get ready either. So be ready, be prepared. That's really just preparedness. They taught us that in nursing. It was all about educating the patients, the clients on preparedness in the event of emergency, in the event of a flood, in the event of evacuation, in the event of like Rona when everything was shut down and cleaned off the shelf. What do you do then when you get sick and you can't go nowhere? And it ain't really nothing you need to be rushed to the hospital for a surgery or nothing. It's just minor stuff, common colds, not feeling good, diarrhea, upset stomach, you know, something that natural herbs can knock out like that and get you back alkaline. Like baking soda and warm water alkalines the body immediately, cuts out all that acidic shit, you know, and gets everything, or like the apple cider vinegar. Yeah, baking soda is brush your teeth with it, take a spiritual bath with it, and drink it. Come on now. Come on. We got to stop with the nonsense. We got to fucking stop being ignorant and lazy when it comes to education. You see what I'm saying? Right? I mean, that's just us being lazy on our part. And then when you go and believe something and whatever a doctor tell you versus your will and you believe it, you lost already, because you shouldn't even take on everything that they tell you like that. You shouldn't let that be the last say so, because he paying God then. He playing God then. And you gonna let anybody play God over your life? I don't think so. My creator's a lot better and a lot bigger, you know, and omnipotent and can do anything, right? No limitations on the creator. So I said that at 01:11. Look at that, was 4 11s. 11:11. So, and I'm not saying don't believe them. I'm just saying that's just the way I operate. That's just the way I operate. You know, and clean that liver, kidney, colon, and spleen out 4 times a year. 4 times a year, get your butt a detox and try to get some of that filth out of there. Some of them toxin, that sludge, that gunk out of the colon. My doctor has said the only cancer that's preventable is colon cancer. I just looked at him. And he said, don't eat beef. And I said, I don't. That's why you saw that 50 unit of vitamin D, because my D level was, another doctor said it was low. And I ended up getting it because that's what she gave me. And then that was too much and I became too high. And I had started eating beef to try to hurry up because I didn't want to take them pills. And I said, well, I know beef will pick it up, because I looked it up. And I went to that doctor to recheck the level. My doctor said, don't eat beef. I said, I don't eat beef. I only did it to get the level up. And he was like, don't eat beef. I said, damn. Y'all, he repeated that I don't know how many fucking times. I never heard a doctor repeat that so many times. You know, he was like, don't eat beef. And I was like, I don't eat beef. I was just eating it because she said my vitamin D was low. I was like, I was trying to get that bitch up, you know, in a normal range, and end up shooting that bitch up to the roof, y'all. Y'all remember me telling y'all that? That bitch was high the next time I went back in that motherfucker. Then I had to lay off of it and get low. You know, and I was like, what the fuck? That's why you just got to be careful. And that's why you need to be outside getting that sun for at least 2 hours, because that is the vitamin D we need. And it releases the serotonin so you don't get depressed. We're sun people. We're children of the sun. We supposed to be out in the motherfucking sun, and we sitting all day up in the fucking AC, and that's why we deficient in vitamin D. And he said we was the most deficient in vitamin C. Black people. Cause we up in the fucking AC, scared to sweat. Which that is your lymphatic system working when you're sweating. You gotta be concerned when your lymphatic system ain't fucking kicking in and you sweating when it's 110 out there. Come on now. That means that's a bag up. That's a bag up in your lymphatic system. Something ain't working. Something ain't draining. And they're in the folds, right? They're in the neck. And he even teach you how to massage that and get it working. And it's behind the knees. It's in the joints. It's in the neck, right? That's the lymphatic system to make everything flush so you're not bagged up. Because that's the last way besides the skin, that's how the toxins get out. So sweating is good, y'all. It's not a bad thing. And sun is good too. They made it bad by putting us in all this false light, this fake light and this AC, and now we scared to get a tan. We scared to get black. We don't want to sweat. We got all this makeup on, all this hair on, and we don't want to tan. We want to stay. Man, I get a tan every year. I turn colors like it ain't nothing because I'm soaking up my vitamin D. Because in the wintertime, you got to think, if you're not liking cold like me, I don't like cold weather. So I ain't trying to move around anyway in the wintertime, not like that, because I can't stand the cold anyway. But because I'm a sun person. I'm a sun individual. You know what I'm saying? Look at the tan. You can see the tan. I be trying to get darker than that, but I've been inside. So it's now starting to lighten up, but in the winter it's gonna come light again. But I be trying to get real dark because I be trying to get everything so I don't be depressed. Because I find I have a better winter when you got that amount of vitamin D from the source. You have a better winter and you sleep better too. You sleep better. I forget which one it helps, the dopamine or the serotonin intake. It helps one of them. Look it up. I can't remember. But the vitamin D from the sun helps you with that intake so you don't have depression and anxiety. If y'all get what I'm saying, you got to look it up. I got so much knowledge on my damn head. And I don't be, I got to come across it again in a book or something. In one of my books. Serotonin, thank you. I knew it was one of them. The winter solstice is for rest, right? Exactly. But yeah, and that way you don't have to if you get the sun in the summertime, it carries you through the winter time. But I noticed when they made it rain during the summertime, that time I end up being deficient. That was the year I was not outside a lot because it rained more that summer, thunderstormed more that summer. And what they would do with the weather pattern is it would rain in the morning, and then sun come out for a little bit at night and go back in, or they would swap it, right? It'll be sunny in the morning, then all of a sudden by 12, rain, and then all of a sudden it would be raining all day. So I couldn't get out there and walk. That year that I got it was because I didn't get that sun that year before it rolled back around. So I know how I got it. It was because I wasn't out in that damn sun enough to get that vitamin D in, and I didn't need the over-the-counter or the herbals to be taking it. And then plus, remember y'all, they took it out of every food that we got. We barely even get it in any of the minerals in any food. So you got to read the packages and see what we're missing, and get it. That's why I take the blackstrap molasses too, because it's got some of the stuff in it that they taking out of the fucking foods. I don't be playing. I don't be fucking playing, y'all. No, hell no. Because these are important minerals that keep us healthy and alive. So I take a tablespoon of this just like I do apple cider vinegar or a shot. The blackstrap molasses, it comes in organic too. I take this to get certain ones because it's not in food and I don't want to be taking pills all the time. So this is great. I take black seed. I showed that earlier. This has calcium, potassium, and iron. And that's why I take a tablespoon of this. Because I was at a black co-op, a black farmer's store in Houston a long time ago. And I stumbled across it, and I was asking a lady about hormones and the woman's health and cysts and fibroids. What do you take? Because it was like a little grocery store, right? And she was an old Reiki master too. I didn't know that till after the conversation. And so she must have been an herbalist because she had that black co-op store with all the little grocery stores, but it was black owned. It was in the 3rd Ward in Houston. And so I was in there and I was asking her about feminine because I was studying herbs and stuff, and I had a lot of women because I sold yoni steams. So I was trying to figure out what else could women take too that went with the yoni steams at the time that I was selling the yoni steams back when. And so she said a tablespoon of blackstrap molasses. And I said, wait, what? Y'all know me and my wait what, right? I was like, what? She said, take a tablespoon of this. And then when I got the bottle and I looked on it, it said calcium, potassium, and iron. I said, hot damn. Wow. But too much calcium, too much potassium, and too much iron can be dangerous too. So y'all, that's why you got to know stuff, right? You got to know stuff. But if you're anemic, right, that's a good picker-upper, right? Or if you need calcium in your bones, right, it's good. I don't take no more than, this is what I do. I don't take no more than a tablespoon, right? I forgot. I think she said 2 or 3 times a week, but I may take it once or twice. But I believe she said 2 to 3. But when I tried to do it 2 to 3, it reacted different, so I bagged off of one. Because I go by what my body frame is made out of. Anytime somebody tempt, because I'm not a heavy person. I may have some visceral fat and cellulite every once in a while, everywhere. You know, but I'm not a fat person. I'm bony. I'm a small structured woman. I'm not big boned. But I just got pockets of fat. Adipose tissue, cellulite, or visceral fat, right? So I know not to take a lot because it made me feel funny. And that's why I said, too much. So I must have ran up my level, you know, so I bagged off of it. And now I only take it once or twice a week. Sometimes just once. Sometimes I skip 2 or 3 4 weeks and make it last a long time. But, you know, I just know how to just, you know, watch stuff real carefully because I'm looking still at the minerals. And I know we only supposed to have a certain normal range, and you don't want to go over the normal range of iron or potassium or calcium. So you got to be real careful with those minerals, y'all, because you can hurt yourself with those too. You know, you can hurt yourself if they too low and deficient, and you can hurt yourself. Somebody hate themselves, huh? And you can hurt yourself. It's that retrograde. You can hurt yourself if it's too high. So that's why you got to learn certain ranges of how much potassium a day we're supposed to have, how much calcium, how much iron. If women losing a lot of blood, if they bleed heavy, that's good for the iron, but you still can overdose on iron. It can fuck your stomach up. So again, you got to know stuff like that. But because I'm a nurse, that's my disclaimer, and I'm not telling y'all to take this because you still want to go and get your levels checked, your labs checked, so you can see what's off, what's within normal range and what's not. So that's my disclaimer. I'm sticking to it. This educational video only. All right. Purposes only. Educational purposes only. But that's why you got to learn the baseline of stuff too. And like he said, with black people, blood pressure, we should be 120 to 170, 125 to 170. Everybody is different over my 30 years of nursing. And he said 16 of doing that. And over my 30 years of nursing, you need to know your baseline. Everybody's different. When they said they went from 140 over 90 in nursing, then before I got out of nursing, the normal was like 150 over 90 the normal. They had adjusted it. And I'm assuming they adjusted it because of the obesity we got in America, but I'm not 100% sure on that. So then I was like, God damn, this is high. So over my 30 years of, or my round about 30 years, close to 30 years, maybe a 1.5 year off. And over my years of nursing, taking different people's blood pressures, big or small, skinny, colors, different colors, you got to know, my nose, thank you, Spirit. You got to know your baseline because everybody is different. But I get the normals that he's talking about, the normal range, or within normal range, somewhere around 125 to 170 for black folks, and then 150 to 90 or 140 over 90 for everybody else, generalized, right? I get what he's saying. Systolic is talking about your adrenals that he talks about sits on top of the kidneys, your cortisol levels, and then the bottom, the diastolic, is the kidneys, what your kidneys are doing. But diastolic, systolic and diastolic. Systolic is the top number, diastolic is the bottom. That's the pressure also exerted against the wall when it's pumping. So sometime it'll be high, sometime be low, like he was saying. So my thing is, y'all got to know your baseline. So you know your baseline, I think, by checking it, doing a log, maybe taking it into your doctor or checking it for a week and checking it to see what the normal range is when you're feeling good. And it can kind of give you like, okay, I know I feel good when it's 125 over 70. Then when it starts to go over 140 to 85 or 90, you might get like, my head kind of hurt. Yeah, right? And then you might say, one day you just out of nowhere, because shit happens with the body, you might have had too much salt or whatever. Then all of a sudden your blood pressure shoots up to 160 over 95. Now you dizzy and blurry and can't focus. Your body will tell you when it's creeping up. It'll tell you when like it's in that range of getting close to stroke or blurred vision, or you can't focus and you blinking and you know, and your head is pounding. Your body will tell you all that from a blood pressure. That's why I say everybody's different, because what I learned over those years, that different people blood pressures were different. Some people felt what I just said at 160 over 95 and 140 over 50. 140 over 90. So that's why I say everybody's body is different, because you got to know what's normal for you. But as I took it with patients, they would feel symptoms of high blood pressure early or later. Some wouldn't even get to that bottom number, be over 100. And then the thing about it, if you're constantly doing that, you get where you don't even recognize the symptom, because you're so immune to it. They develop accustomed to that high blood pressure. They think their damn blood pressure is normal when that bitch is high, because they don't ignore the symptoms and the signs that the body was giving them. So that's why I say everybody should know their normal baseline range. When you feel up, when you feel lightheaded and woozy, it might be too low, which you can get that when it's too high, or you might get blurred vision, or you might feel faint when it's too low. You got to know where your high range, low range, and your good comfortable range is. So that way when you take it, you go, oh shit, I better do something. I'm better drink some water. I better lay off the salt. I better watch it and take it later, lay down, rest. Don't stimulate the brain. Try to, do some breathe, whatever the hell it is, right? Whatever, a herb or whatever it is, if you ain't got a prescribed medicine. But that's a good way you can focus. Everybody's different. Everybody's body is different. So you got to know what's the norm for you on all this stuff. Blood pressure, temperature, and all that stuff he was saying. And again, the heart rate, because the heart rate is good. So the blood pressure wall, when it contracts, and it's a systolic, if I'm not mistaken, and a diastolic is the pressure against the blood the pressure against the blood vessel wall when it relaxes. So one is about contracting and one is about the heart relaxing. And just like he said, the adrenal and the what? The kidneys. So that's why it's not good to go untreated with high blood pressures from a long time, from up high, because you can shut down your kidneys and have to be on dialysis. And then you get accustomed to the side effects that you think are normal, but it's actually warning signs for the body telling you, you better stop eating salt, you better stop eating this, you're gonna start swelling on your feet because your kidneys gonna shut down and they ain't removing toxins out of the bloodstream to the urine. It's not filtering. That's our filter system, with the kidneys. So that's why he was saying do it 3-4 times every season, 4 times a year to do that. So you can make sure everything is filtering right like it's supposed to, because you don't want dialysis. That's painful as fuck. It's exhausting. I had so many patients on that. It was fucking tiring. And then I had one person, that a couple of people that they gave too much, their blood pressure was so high for so long, and it was effect of some sort. They had some type of interaction or something that it shut down their kidneys. It messed up their kidneys. So because of the blood pressure being so high, and I don't know if they missed it or what they did, or if it was the medicine, but it messed up the person's kidneys because of that. So you gotta be very careful and know your baseline at the end of the day. That's all I'm trying to say. Because even though he said that, 130 over 75 may be normal for some of y'all, but 150 over 75 or 70 might be normal for the next person. They might function just fine with those 2 blood pressures, because it depends on if they're heavy. And yeah, the more weight you are, the more your body is going to have to work harder to do everything, right? That's why we got to watch the obesity part, because the more heavier you are, your body is fighting to just do what it's got to do, what it should do without any strain or stress. If y'all get what I'm saying. Hopefully y'all do. Anyway, that's just my intake on my educational purposes only, from being in the health industry for so long. He knows a lot. He knows a lot. Boy, he knows a lot. I ain't nowhere knowledgeable, but for nursing wise and seeing different bodies, I got that part, because that's been my history. But he breaks that shit down. I hear noise. Y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that? Did y'all hear that in y'all left ear? Did anybody hear that? Dang. Download. Did anybody hear that? I heard it. It's off somewhere, but I heard it in my left ear. Maybe y'all will hear it later. But so just know you take your blood pressures and stuff like that. Take the blood pressures and stuff like that and everything. Okay? So, all right. I hope that helps y'all. I really do. I really do. So take it with a grain of salt and do what you do. Go to your doctor. We ain't saying don't go to the doctor. He wasn't even saying don't go to the doctor. He was saying some things we can do at home and take healing into our own hand, because we are the self-healers ourselves, right? And just work in conjunction with doctors and stuff. That's what he was saying. That's what he was saying. So that's it. 122, another long video. All right, y'all. I gotta go because we gotta go. I gotta finish cleaning up and take all these books back. And plus I gotta get ready for pop-up, and I gotta do some readings and load them up. So again, bye. See y'all later. And read, because education and reading and knowledge is power. But most of all, you gotta apply. You gotta become an adapt student, meaning you're applying it. You're not just looking at it, reading, and not using it. You know, get those devices he said and get somebody to look, you know, or if you don't want to do that, when you go to the doctor and they look in your ear, or that med tech looks in your ear, what color was it? So that way you'll know from one visit to the next. Okay? From one visit to the next. So thank y'all. I appreciate y'all. Peace, love, and harmony. I'll see y'all later. Bye now. Peace. Educational purpose video, fair use only. Y'all be good. I'll be back later for pop-up.